Long ago, in the peaceful African village of Nsuma, people lived happily by farming, fishing, and singing together every evening. Among them lived a kind 12-year-old girl named Amma, who loved music more than anything in the world. Her grandmother often said, "Music can reveal truths hidden from the eyes." Amma wondered what that meant. One afternoon, while gathering fruit near the forest, Amma discovered an old calabash resting beneath an enormous baobab tree. As she gently picked it up, the calabash began to sing. Its beautiful melody echoed through the forest. Amma gasped, "This isn't an ordinary calabash." When Amma carried the singing calabash into the village, something incredible happened. The calabash sang different melodies whenever someone spoke. If they spoke honestly, the music became joyful. But whenever someone lied, the melody turned sad and slow. The villagers looked at one another in amazement. The village chief heard about the magical calabash. He wanted it for himself. "If I own it," he thought, "everyone will obey me." He offered Amma bags of gold, but she politely refused. The calabash suddenly sang a sad tune. Everyone realized the chief's true intentions. The next morning, the village's harvest disappeared. Someone had stolen baskets of maize and yams. Everyone accused one another. Arguments filled the marketplace. Amma quietly placed the singing calabash in the center of the crowd. One by one, the villagers spoke. The calabash stayed joyful, until one farmer claimed he knew nothing. Immediately, its beautiful song became sorrowful. The real thief lowered his head in shame. The farmer fell to his knees. "I stole the harvest because my family was hungry." The villagers became silent. Instead of punishment, Amma suggested they help the struggling family. Everyone shared food. The calabash sang the happiest song anyone had ever heard. Its melody floated high into the sky. That evening, Amma returned the calabash to the ancient baobab tree. An old forest spirit appeared. "You have discovered the calabash's true secret. It was never created to expose lies. It was created to remind people that truth without kindness is incomplete." The spirit smiled. The calabash's glow slowly faded. Its work was done. Years passed. Amma became the village's most beloved storyteller. Children gathered beneath the great baobab tree every evening to hear tales of honesty, kindness, and forgiveness. Sometimes, when the wind blew gently through the branches, a familiar melody drifted across the village. The singing calabash was gone, but its song still lived in every truthful and compassionate heart. Truth earns trust, but kindness gives truth its greatest power. A heart that speaks honestly and cares for others creates a song that never fades. Many seasons passed, and peace filled the village of Nsuma. But one morning, something strange happened. The birds stopped singing. The wind no longer whispered through the baobab leaves. Even the drums sounded dull and lifeless. Amma looked toward the ancient tree. For the first time in years, it stood completely silent. That night, Amma dreamed of the glowing forest spirit. "The song of truth is fading," the spirit said gently. "Far beyond the golden savanna lies the valley of echoes. There, a forgotten singing calabash sleeps. Only a heart, filled with honesty and compassion, can awaken it." When Amma awoke, the silver moonlight pointed toward the distant hills. Before sunrise, Amma packed food, water, and her grandmother's woven shawl. Children from the village gathered to wish her well. One brave boy named Kofi stepped forward. "I want to help," Amma smiled. "Then walk with courage, and always tell the truth." Together, they set off across the golden savanna toward the unknown. After 2 days of traveling, Amma and Kofi reached a sparkling river. As they stepped closer, the water began to speak. "Cross only if your hearts carry no deceit." Kofi remembered he had secretly taken an extra loaf of bread without telling Amma. Ashamed, he confessed. Amma smiled and shared the bread with him. The river shimmered with joy. A bridge of glowing stones slowly appeared across the water. Beyond the river stood towering cliffs surrounding a hidden valley. Every word spoken there echoed back, not as a sound, but as the speaker's true intentions. At the center of the valley rested a magnificent golden calabash covered in ancient symbols. As Amma gently reached toward it, a soft melody filled the air. The forgotten singing calabash had awakened. As Amma touched the golden calabash, the ground began to shake. From the ancient stones emerged a giant guardian made of earth and roots. "Who seeks the song of truth?" the guardian asked. Amma bowed respectfully. "I do not seek power. I only want to return harmony to my village." The guardian studied her heart. Then he smiled. "Many have come wanting the calabash's magic. Few have come wanting to serve others. The singing calabash can only return with someone who passes 3 tests," said the guardian. "The test of truth, the test of courage, and the test of kindness." First, Amma stood before a magical mirror. It showed her every mistake she had ever made. Instead of hiding them, Amma admitted them. The mirror shone brightly. She had passed the first test. For the second test, the guardian led Amma and Kofi into a dark cave. Deep inside, they found a small creature trapped beneath fallen rocks. The cave walls trembled. Kofi whispered, "We should leave before it collapses." But Amma shook her head. No one should be left behind. Together, they lifted the stones and rescued the frightened creature. The cave filled with golden light. The second test was complete. Finally, the guardian placed a treasure chest before Amma. Inside were precious jewels and endless gold. "This reward can be yours," said the guardian, "but the singing calabash cannot leave with you." Amma looked at the treasure, then at the glowing calabash. She closed the chest. "My village needs hope more than I need gold." The guardian nodded. The greatest treasure is a generous heart." The golden calabash rose into the air. Its song spread across the land. Flowers bloomed, rivers sparkled, birds returned to the skies. Amma and Kofi carried the calabash back to Ensuma. When they arrived, the villagers gathered beneath the great baobab tree. The moment the calabash sang, the entire village danced. The song of truth had returned.